It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. As of today, we're going to be getting into the aftermath on all of the big three after the battle. Now, of course, saying after the battle, that doesn't mean it's over, because apparently one party is refusing to stay down. Even when all the chips have fallen, the dominoes have fallen, the checkers pieces have been checkmated, or whatever the fuck you call it in checkers. The connect fours have been connected, but one of your boy just don't want to leave. All right. So, of course, in most hip hop circles right now, we've already deemed Kendrick the winner, the king. And that's just what it is at this current moment, right? The number one guy in hip hop. We're not talking about numbers. We're talking about the consensus amongst the people. Okay. We've had many talks, many debates, many conversations about the subject. And of course, I know some people out there don't really want to continue this, but we're going to milk it because the artists involved are milking it, right? We still have a music video on the way for Not Like Us, which ain't going nowhere. You're not going to be able to avoid it. If you're on any social media platform when that video drops, you can bet most people are going to be sharing it. Any of the the viral content pages that you follow, they're going to be posting it. They're going to be coming up with narratives. They're going to be dissecting whoever's in the video, any references, any whatever. So you might as well just ride the wave with the rest of us because, again, it's the biggest story in hip hop. And I still stand 10 toes down saying this is the biggest hip hop battle in the history of the genre. So it ain't going nowhere, baby. Okay. Now, first thing I want to get into is, like I said, your boy ain't going down. It's actually rumored that once the Not Like Us music video hits the streets, gets uploaded to YouTube and wherever else it goes, they saying your boy Drake is coming right back outside and he gonna want to run the fade with some new diss records. Okay? That's what's being said out here. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but these are the rumblings, right? So it says Drake will be releasing another diss track soon. Drake is extremely mad about the Juneteenth Ken and Friends pop-out concert, and he's about to quote-unquote crash out. They said the diss track could drop either tomorrow, as in, we'll see. Basically, it could drop any day. Or when the Not Like Us music video officially drops, he could be following up with some new bars, new disses, new jabs, perhaps new information that he went and found or went on Reddit for. And we'll see. Right? Now, for most people in hip hop, most spectators, I think this is not going to go over well. Right? I think most people have accepted that Kendrick won. Kendrick is the champion. And everything that Drake does from this point forward is going to be looked upon with a pretty condescending eye, right? And I don't think anybody that feels that way is wrong. Now, for me personally, I'm in a weird position because I feel like Drake should have the opportunity to fire back. This is hip hop. This is a battle. Although he did put out The Heart Part 6 and it did sound like he was defeated. It did sound like he was deflated. It did sound like he wasn't energized about going forward with anything else and talking about we want to get to the facts and you can hit me up when you want to get to the facts. And it was definitely an act of cowardice, if I must say. He tried to act like he had his chest out, but what did Kendrick say about a nigga poking the chest out with a bra or something like that? That's kind of how I felt. But nonetheless, as a man, I guess, as a warrior, you want to try to protect your honor. Um, you put the last shot out there, but then your opponent comes out and does this huge concert in their city, live streams it for the entire world to see, um, perform multiple diss records, perform the biggest diss record from the saga, Not Like Us, 6 times. It plays a seventh and eighth time while people are leaving the building, type of thing. We've got all types of publications and channels out here that are now all of a sudden adopting to the Not Like Us theme, right? BET Awards, I think they're doing Not Like Us theme. Double XL freshman cover this year, Not Like Us. All of a sudden, everybody's on that wave. We got little kids talking about Not Like Us in their schools, at their dances. I saw a video of 2 little young girls talking about, if you my friend and we locked in, then step this way, step this way, step this way. I said, oh man, it's over, baby. Not when the little kids is talking about, are we locked in? You know, little kids love to talk about, are you my friend? Are you my friend? They like, hey, are you my friend? Damn. So Drake is, I mean, he's been a poor sport the entire time, but for the most part, he's taken it on the chin. He hasn't said anything of real substance. He hasn't done any interviews. He hasn't made any videos talking. He's really just posted memes and bullshit, which I feel is super passive aggressive. It feels immature. It feels like a nearly 40-year-old man crashing out on some 13-year-old shit, right? You got beat up in front of the class. You got beat up at the lunch table. And rather than, you know, taking your loss, showing up with your head up the next day at school, Drake is coming across as, you know what he said on The Language? I am the one with the motor mouth. I am the one that you heard about. I think he's really living up to that name now. Right? Because the way that this is playing out, it feels like the kid that know he can't fight, but you can't shut him up. Niggas just goddamn niggas give you a wedgie. Niggas smack you upside the head when you get your when you get a fresh fade. Niggas come up to your ass and say, Nick. And Drake is getting all of this treatment and he like, you still ain't gonna shut me up. It doesn't matter. Shut up. I don't care. That's the big one. I don't care. Drake is that little kid that be getting yapped on. I don't care. Well, you better put your dukes up, nigga. So that is what we're essentially living with at this current moment in hip hop, right? He posted a meme in his story with the fucking AI robot, which to me says, let's load it up. Let's load up the AI. Since y'all say I'm an AI rapper, let's load up the AI one more time and get to work. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's not what I would expect. And, you know, I feel like this particular battle, I think there's been a lot of revealing moments in Drake's career, but this particular battle is highlighting something that many of us have overlooked and or missed. And what it is that this dude ain't who we thought he was, right? When he came into hip hop and was received, and I talked about this before, when Wayne and them got beside him and they championed him and whatever, the hardcore hip hop fans was like, what the hell is this singing and rapping ass nigga, light skin, blah, blah. But then there was a whole other side of the game that couldn't wait to get next to him. Everybody wanted hooks. Everybody wanted a piece of what he had going on. They wanted to jump on his mixtapes. Queen Latifah, I'll never forget Queen Latifah at the BET Awards when Best I Ever Had came out. She was up there talking about, oh yeah, I love Drake. He raps, he sings, and this and that, and everybody was co-signing it. And it was like the changing of the guard, and he received the benefit of the doubt as the other guy in hip hop, right? Similar to how Kanye West got to be the other guy in hip hop. Everybody before that was thugs, gangsters, drug dealers, so-called killers, had the nine in the, you know what I mean? Came from really degenerative type backgrounds, right? Or what hip hop fans would I ideally say is thorough. Drake, on the other hand, came in and he was in tune with his emotions, and he talked about it in his interviews, and he got to other himself as if he was somebody better, as if he was the better option, as if he was the more holistic approach, as if he was the organic version of hip hop of sorts, right? And he was able to play that role for a number of years, right? He got to make it seem like he was this heartbreak Drake, this heartthrob, this guy that cared about the women. Oh, I treat every girl like she's mine. But at a certain point, all of a sudden, the coin flipped and he turned into this for all the dogs, her law, certified lover boy, had 1 million pregnant emojis as if he was out here impregnating 1,000 women. But all of a sudden, when niggas say you got other kids out there, you like, how, Sway? So what was the messaging on that album then? If you put all of these pregnant emojis of women on your shit and we don't see no children produced, that sends a horrific message if you catch my drift. Not to mention the real life allegations of you terminating. So he got to, you know what I mean? So the dude that came in, and I saw somebody I fuck with too, a former rapper that was really, really good from Houston, by the way. She came out and was like, you know, Drake gave us great music from 2006 up to for almost 20 years. And all it took was for Kendrick Lamar to say, we don't fuck with him, for everybody to change the narrative. And to me, to make that statement, you are completely overlooking the progressive nature of his shift in hip hop and shift in his personality, or not even a shift, but just what he was able to cover, right? Because when he talked about his father being this or that, his dad said, hey man, you're lying on me in your raps. You're trying to craft this story. Now, I don't know how much he was lying, because I feel like, hell, if he was in Memphis and Drake was in Toronto, how many times did he make that trip to Toronto? I don't know. But what we do know is at a certain point when Drake decided he wanted to start battling, and I mentioned this the other day, when he started deciding to battle it out with fellow competitors in hip hop, his stance has always been, I'm going to attack you, but I'm really going to attack the women. Any women associated with you, I know that's every man's sore spot. I'm attacking that. And to be honest, that's not a respectable way of doing things. In the real world, niggas that play like that get their ass beat up, shot up, stabbed up, fucked up in some capacity. Right? Some niggas is just diesel like that, and they built like that so they can impose their will in a certain way where other people will back down. But Drake doesn't have that type of stature. He doesn't have that type of reputation. And the last confrontation that I've heard about, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we've heard about this guy getting hit in the head with a bottle by Chris Brown at the height of their issue. We've heard about this man getting peed on his leg. We've heard about the man who shall not be named putting hands on his ass over a beat. So you're not the type of guy that anybody would be intimidated about or intimidated of, for you to just be going at niggas women like you just Debo. But for whatever reason, in his mind, he believes that he's that person. Now, if you've been tuned into my channel for the last 2 months, 3 months or so, I will admittedly say my tone about Drake has certainly changed. It has shifted. And the reason why it has shifted so much is because he's allowed himself to play out publicly in a way that would shift just about anyone's perspective if you're not completely fanned out. Right? If you just analyze this man for what it is and just look at the track record, look at the history, look at everything he's had going on, I don't see how you can conscionably back up his actions, especially when his competitor or his opposition or whatever you want to call him hasn't played into any of these things. He just released his music, said what he had to say on the songs, and let fucking everything else run its course. Right? So, as I stated, I talked about Drake going at the ladies the other day. I was only able to bring up a couple of pieces because it was just going off at the top of my memory. But somebody out here decided to do a deep dive on all of the different people that Drake has besmirched and attacked, and the ladies attached to them that were collateral damage in his feuds. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to let him talk about it, rather. So let me go ahead and pull this up, and we'll move forward. All right?
If you for a second think Drake does not care, I got news for you, buddy. But fuck that. Let's second think Drake does not care. I got news for you, buddy. But fuck that. Let's talk about Drake following Mustard's ex-wife on Instagram. So this is Drake following Chanel Dijon or Chanel Bieri. I think that's her last name on Instagram recently. That's DJ Mustard's ex-wife. They had a horrible, toxic breakup. You know, Mustard produced, not like us. So this is Drake being petty Drake as usual, right? Now, my problem with this is for all of the fans that been jacking, oh, Drake had to battle 20 people. Drake had to battle all of these people. Drake started this with a bunch of these people. Let's go down the list. The Weeknd. Now, The Weeknd and Drake had a beef before about Drake saying he made The Weeknd because The Weeknd didn't want to sign to OVO, and then The Weeknd saying, well, if you really made me, then replace me. They clicked up again. They got cool. But what does Drake do? Drake then tries to fuck his girl. So when Drake say, I ain't even fuck, I just lip locked with her, he's referring to The Weeknd's girl. Bella Hadid or Gigi Hadid, whatever one it was. That's what the rumor was. Drake was caught with Shorty or whatever. And he was like, I ain't even clap. And you mad about that. But why would you do that to your mans? That's problem number one. ASAP Rocky, minding his business. What does Drake do on his album? Throw shots at Rihanna. I'm anti, da 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 da. It starts dissing Rihanna unprovoked. Somebody show me where Rihanna started this beef with Drake. Who's in a relationship with Rihanna and defending his girl's honor? ASAP Rocky. Did he start that problem? No, they was minding their business, taking family photos, working on whatever's next in Fenty, getting ready for a fucking photo shoot, modeling and all that. You feel me? Minding their business. Let's keep it going. What does Drake say about Metro Boomin on Family Matters? Oh, you mad because I fucked your girl or your wife. Now, Metro called that cap and said, you know what this is about. This ain't about you trying to sleep with my girl, that's cap. But if I said what it was, it'd be a bad day for both of us. Whatever the fuck Metro said on Twitter. Drake has a history of starting problems with people. And all of a sudden, all of the fans made it seem like all of these people are coming at Drake for no reason. He started all of these issues. Rick Ross. Rick Ross just featured on Future's album. He didn't even say anything about Drake, right? But Tia Kemp went on live like, oh, he don't even like you, Drake. He talks shit, yada, yada, yada. And instead of them having a conversation, Drake then invites Rick Ross's baby moms to his show like 2 days later, because that's how he moves. You feel me? So him doing this shit to DJ Mustard, it's not shocking. This is his character, bro. In the rap battle with Meek Mill, what does he do? He starts talking about Nicki, right? Oh, is that a world tour, your girl tour? When he beefed with Pusha T, I let it ring off like Virginia Williams, go straight to his wife. And with Kendrick Lamar, he goes straight to a bodyguard like Whitney. That's who he is. He's not a victim. So thank you for bringing that up. All that trolling and shit is exactly what got him in this position, bro. No moral compass. No moral Christ, or I'm on demon time trying to take your bitch. And then it comes back to bite you in the ass and you want to, oh, it's a 20v1. All of these niggas trying to take my. You did this. This was literally you, bro. Now he want to troll and act unbothered, then gets caught voting on shit. You feel me? And you want to be like, oh, he's trolling. He doesn't. He cares. He cares about his image. He cares about looking like that nigga. And right now he don't look like that nigga. He has a big ego. And that shit hurt, just like his fans, because they've been crying in comments since this shit started.
All right, so there y'all have it, man. This dude was able to talk about this at length for like 5 minutes, just pinpointing one after one after one after one after one. And then you wonder why niggas are plotting against you. You wonder why niggas are commiserating and coming up with a plan to get you up out the paint. It's not about no rap shit. It's not about, oh, you the number one nigga. It's about you over here thinking that you could just exert your way into nigga situations, try to infiltrate relationships, try to infiltrate the interaction between men and women, you know what I'm saying? And their women, more specifically. It's just fucking lame. And for niggas out there in the real world, like I stated before, that think that they could just walk up and, oh, I don't like you, I'm gonna try to smash your chick. Niggas don't like them type of dudes. Like, nobody in their right mind is gonna stay around somebody like that. And if they can figure out a way to get them to fuck out the paint, it is what it is. Right? So that is what it is. Oh, and let's go even further. For some of y'all, you may have seen this, some of y'all may have not. There's a young lady out there that's rumored to be Mos Def, aka Yasin Bey's daughter, who went viral a couple weeks ago. She had this song on the the On the Radar. And she had the song, "This is not my problem. It ain't not my problem." Her name is Prod Layla, or just Layla, but she produces her own music, so her social media is called Prod Layla. Well, what do you know? Drake pops up, and he wants to follow this young lady, Mos Def daughter. Now, if y'all don't remember what he had to say about Drake, he said that his music was the equivalent to Target pop music, right? Sounds good when you're shopping, doesn't necessarily sound good in the essence of hip hop, right? I disagreed. I feel like Drake has the music that he's put out has multiple different styles and sounds, right? We know there is a lyrical hip hop bag version of Drake, timestamp Drake. But there's also Kiki, Do You Love Me? There's also God's Plan, right? There's also Nice for What and all this, you know what I mean? So, of course, that's what Mos Def was talking about. Like he's a likable artist. And of course, again, I feel like he's had those thoughts about Drake, but also he's on Kanye's side. He's been most closely associated with Kanye throughout the last decade or so. So I think that also played a role in his opinion about Drake. He didn't say he was trash, didn't say he wasn't good at music, didn't say he didn't like his face, right? Just said it was so many skews version of hip hop. Well, now that his alleged daughter has gone viral, and I keep saying alleged because she hasn't come out and confirmed that Mos Def is in fact her father, or Yasin Bey, to be respectful to his actual name now. Well, he comes out and decides to follow this young lady. It's rumored that she's somewhere around the age of 18. So we don't know for sure how old this young lady is. She could be 18 now that she's coming out promoting herself in hip hop. She could be 17, she could be 19, she could be younger or older, but we know that she is at that stage of, just barely legal, if at all. And he goes and follows her and is put on display. I'm going to get to my ops however I got to, right? It's weirdo behavior. Now, we don't know if he's reached out to her, sent her DMs. Don't know what his plan is. If he's going to try to entice her, invite her to make a song. Oh, come to the studio in Toronto. I'd love to work with you. Try to play it up like that. Or if he's going to use her as collateral, which basically feels like that anyway. But again, we're talking about, ain't Drake 37 years old, about to be 40? Why? There's other ways to go about this, my nigga. If you don't like Mos Def, diss his ass in a song. Right? If you didn't like what he said about you, why didn't you come out with your own video and say, bro, we ain't listen, niggas on my side ain't listen to you in 15 years. Get the fuck out of here. Keep the shit moving. That's what a real nigga would do if they had to come out and publicly say anything, standing on business. Nigga, fuck you. We don't listen to your shit no way. You had some classics, now you're whack. Keep that shit moving. But why would you try to play? You know what I mean? And you don't even know how old she is. So that also leans into people's perception about you anyway, where you have this affinity for reaching out to young women that are teetering the line of adulthood. The shit is whack. The shit is lame. It's not acceptable. It's not okay. And anybody co-signing that type of behavior for a nigga near 40, what does that say about you? Right? I would never say Drake can't rap. I would never say Drake has never produced good music. I would never say that if he drops a good song tomorrow that I'm not going to acknowledge it as a good song. But can he recover from this? Can he find a way to win in this beef with Kendrick? No. The writing is on the wall. He cannot win. There is no comeback. He could drop the best song of his fucking life. I would say, Drake, this is the best song of your life. You still lost. Congratulations for making a good song, though. You put it out at the wrong time when y'all was in the slugfest. You wasn't swinging haymakers. It's just the truth. I liked Family Matters. He had some good bars on push-ups. You didn't produce a Euphoria. You didn't produce a Not Like Us. Sorry. Now, to keep the conversation rolling, some people have come out and acknowledged, or pointed out rather, that at Kendrick Lamar's pop-out concert, he rapped on a version of Alright that featured J. Cole's ad-libs on it. Now, if y'all can remember, what year was this? 2015? Was it 15? I can't remember. But the Black Friday freestyle where Kendrick rapped over J. Cole's beat. What song was that? Dun, 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 dun. God damn, I never can remember the name of that song. But y'all know the song. And then J. Cole rapped over All Right. And on J. Cole's version of All Right, in the beginning, he's doing like, he's kind of talking. And he has this thing on there. And when Kendrick took the stage at the pop out and did All Right, people pointed out like, yo, that was J. Cole. J. Cole's ad lib is on there. Some people feel like it could have been a jab at Cole to let it be known like, I'm still on your head. Others feel like that was his way of extending the olive branch to let it be known, I still fuck with you, Cole. I got your ad lib on my shit. People are using that as a conversation piece to talk about the possibility of them still putting out a joint collaboration album. I don't think it sees the light of day ever, especially not with everything that transpired this year. That is over. Again, Cole wants to be Switzerland. He doesn't want to be involved in this feud. He doesn't want no parts of it. He said that he didn't want no parts of it. He got the fuck out the way. He didn't want them tanks shooting in his direction. So anything he does to align himself with either one of these artists, to be honest, in a public fashion for the foreseeable future, is going to feel like you picking sides. So what has Cole been doing? Hanging out in motherfucking New York. Living his motherfucking peaceful life. Doing his goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, Lovelyti came out with a whole article about it. They say, looks like J. Cole has been having a great time in NYC since he skipped out on the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. Okay? J. Cole has been spotted biking around New York City and linking up with his fans. The rapper seems to be having a great time ever since he skipped out. As summer finally kicks off in the Big Apple, Cole has been outside a handful of times just in the last month alone, and he's normally not seen out very much. On Tuesday, the video There's a video that shows Cole being sighted on his bike, chopping it up with a few of his fans on the streets of New York. Cole was merely hanging out with no security in sight, which has become a semi-normal occurrence over the years. Earlier in June, another video went viral that showed Cole asking for directions in Manhattan. They say it's nice to see Cole back in New York so frequently, which was very much his second home when he attended St. John's University back in 2007. Any Cole fan knows that New York holds a special place in his heart, considering that's where he chased down Jay-Z day after day to try to get Hove to listen to his music and sign him. He eventually got signed to The Rock in 2008. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull up this video of people taking photos with Cole out in New York. Niggas was shocked. Niggas like, oh my God, he's on a bike. Which has become his trademark. Anytime you see him specifically in New York, he riding his motherfucking bike around, man. Even in one of his might delete later promo videos, what was he doing? Riding a bike.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. Yo, chilling. Just see my boy on a bike. That's crazy.
Yeah, what's going with it, man? We out floating around. We out in New York with it, man. He's on a bike. You know what I'm saying? Anybody acting crazy? Get off our feds. 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 Hold on, stop. What's wrong with him, man?
All right. J. Cole saw the crowd getting a little bit too big. Too many niggas wanted daps and hugs, mean mugs and shoulder shrugs. He say, all right, guys, it's time for me to go. I got to get the fuck out of here before y'all make this too much of a spectacle. Shit get too hot around here. Love y'all. Peace. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all. He chose peace. It looks like he's delivering on that promise. There's also a photo of J. Cole somewhere in New York, writing in a notebook, seemingly writing down some bars, perhaps journaling his feelings on the heels of all of this stuff, perhaps coming up with some new shit for people to vibe to whenever he decides he wants to come back outside and upload some new music for the people to hear. Hey, man, it's going to be interesting to see where J. Cole goes from this whole situation, right? I feel like he's also in a similar position to Drake. It's not as drastic or severe as Drake, but it does feel like anything that he drops at this point is going to be ran through, sifted through, and analyzed very critically to see what is he talking about, right? Because on one hand, he did the grippy shit where he wanted to rap about, you know, sex and attraction and all of that shit, which I think he did a poor job of doing. But then on the other hand, if he comes out and decides he wants to rap about bars and competition and killing your favorite rapper again, which he had been on a fucking run, a tear for the last 6 years, just bodying shit like that. Now, whenever he says something like that, people gonna be like, did you mean that? Are you sure? Is this for play? Are we supposed to look at you like Wesley Snipes and Blade, just playing a character? How do we receive that? So he is in an interesting position. Excuse me. Some people believe that this whole fall off rollout was a self-fulfilling prophecy in which he has to go through a fall off period to where he can regain his credibility when he drops the album, right? Anybody that doubts him, anybody, and for those out there listening or watching, some people that are J. Cole fans are going to be like, what do you mean regain credibility? I know J. Cole is still a credible rapper. I'm just saying, for a lot of people, he's being side-eyed. He's being analyzed in a very critical fashion. Therefore, he's lost credibility, a certain amount of it, not fully. I know some people out there don't know how to critically think or receive information when their ear registers. But some people, again, believe that he's setting the stage for this album to drop and all will be cured. That is yet to be seen. Maybe he can make it happen. If anybody's capable of doing it, it could be J. Cole. Okay? moving forward with the show. What are we going to get into next? Going back to Drake. We got a couple more Drake related things. Unfortunately, everybody's unloading the chopper on his ass. We've which direction do I want to go? How many options you really got? It's too many options. So first, let's get to even more ghostwriting, non-writing allegations on Drake. Because that's been another conversation that's been circulating. There's people out there that are alleging that Best I Ever Had was not written by Drake. We've got the artist from Memphis, Kia Shine. He's been out here for a very long time. He's had some hits under his belt. He's written for people, produced for people, worked with Wayne, all this type of stuff. And, you know, this story has been out there for years, but of course, the more time passes with certain things, the more that information gets covered by new information, and people don't go back and revisit it. People are not history buffs these days. People are not living with information as long as we used to in this world. So it takes people like myself, content creators, that are willing to delve back into those stories to remind people of how things went. All right. So Kia Shine, he worked with Wayne. I think this was back in maybe 2007. He produced a record for Wayne called Do It For The Boy, and he wrote the hook for Wayne that had a similar melody to Best I Ever Had. And this was the original idea. This was before Drake heard it, right? And it was something like, "Baby, you my everything, y'all ever wanted," or something like that. And Drake heard it and got inspired, and it led him to writing The Best I Ever Had. And we know the song on that. He also decided to get a beat that had a similar sample and style of production to a degree, or we'll just say sample, that made Kia Shine feel a little certain type of way when he heard it. But once he spoke his piece about it, he ended up getting put into the credits after the song was released, after Best I Ever Had was released. And he's been openly speaking about it ever since, to which a lot of Drake fans over the years have bombasted him, made him seem, or lambasted him, made him seem like he was a hater, made it seem like he was out here lying. Like, dude, you're a failed rapper. How could you ever be receiving songwriting credits on Drake? Why are you out here saying that he took your bars or took your melody or took something from you when you couldn't even produce the hits for yourself? Well, now that the tides have changed, now that we're living in a different time period, the internet is our friend. Podcasts are going crazy. An interview has resurfaced of him on the God Show podcast with Ray Daniels, explaining the situation to let people know, once again, this was my original thought. This was something I created and worked with Wayne about. Drake decided to be inspired by it and ran with it, and we had to get the paperwork right. You know? And this is the song that put Drake on for a lot of people. This is the song that deemed him as that other in hip hop, because it was like, oh my God, he's making music for women. He's talking about love. The best I ever had. Oh my God. And the idea came from Kia Shine. So let's go up ahead and pull up his explanation of the situation, because he could get into even more details than I can. I wasn't there. I didn't live through it. I didn't experience all that hate. So let's see what he has to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. The nigga even came out and said Kia Shine is lying when he knew the truth. He knew. Now, he might not have known that Kia Shine was the producer and the writer behind the record for Wayne. Perhaps he figured, well, it's Wayne, so clearly he did it himself. But why not talk to Wayne before you come out to the world and say the nigga's lying? Right? So at this point, Kia Shine in the video, he says co-writing, which is definitely a real thing in the industry. I really do believe that this isn't ghostwriting, by the way, but it is more so what you would call interpolation. And an interpolation in the music industry means if you hear a song, you get inspired by it, you take an element of the lyrics of that song, you could say it word for word, right? That's a version of an interpolation. Or you could switch the words, right? Like when Jay-Z goes, he is I and I am him, slim with the tilted brim on 20-inch rims. That's an interpolation of Snoop Dogg on the What's My Name? He is I and him, slim with the tilted brim. What's my motherfucking name? So when you go look up Jay-Z's record, Snoop is going to have writing credit on that record, not because Snoop wrote Jay-Z's lyrics, but because Jay-Z remixed Snoop's lyrics. So it's the same thing with Drake listening to the Wayne song, getting inspired, flipping the lyrics. He goes and does that, and then Kia Shine says, yo, y'all gotta run me my money because I wrote that. And Drake looks up and like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You ain't write my shit. Well, go talk to your boss. Go talk to your mentor, nigga. And that vibe that you got from the record was also inspired by the beat that I produced. So run me my check, run me my credit, and pipe the fuck down. But it just shows some of the incredulous nature that Drake has been carrying with him ever since he came into the industry. You know what I'm saying? Because before you do your due diligence, you came out and just stone cold face called this man a liar when you know this wasn't an original thought from your brain. You knew that much. Now, let's go ahead and pull up the original clip of Kia Shine coming out and speaking on this because he was ecstatic about winning the BMI award for Best I Ever Had. But his moment was rained on at that time.
What up, it's your kid from Kia Shine. Mr. So Crispy. Mr. I just wrote the Drake record Best I Ever Had and won 3 awards tonight. And y'all shout out to my kid folks over Human Nature magazine. That's what it is. Because it's human nature, baby. You know what I mean? So how does it feel to, win 3 awards tonight? It feels great. I was going to bring them with me to the club. You know what I mean? But they were so heavy I left them at home. But it's going down, man. It feels real good to be acknowledged for something that I wrote. Why do you think they acknowledge the song? Why did the song catch up so hard? Say it again. Why did the song catch on so hard? Why did they acknowledge it? It's a melodic record with a feel-good beat, you know what I'm saying? With a dope-ass hook. And then, shout out to Sean Gary, but Kia Shine got a feel too.
You can't rewrite history. You can write a song, you can rewrite a song, you can steal the writing on a song, but you cannot rewrite history. Oh man, that's too bad. That is too bad. All right. Now, I've also seen some people that are circulating information, and I want to say, to clear it up, he did not ghostwrite the record. He was not a hired writer to go in the studio, come up with something, and Drake turned it into what he did, and he tried to ghost him. That's not what happened. It was a mix-up. He was inspired. He must not have known the source of his inspiration. He thought it was Wayne. It was really Kia Shine who gave Wayne the vibe. But he came out again and called the nigga a liar when it turned out to be the truth. So moving forward, there's been this thing circulating online of Drake allegedly taking bars from Soulja Boy for I'm on one, right? I ain't felt this since I was 18. Da, 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 da. Anything I don't mean. And some people were saying, whoa, those bars are from Soulja Boy, right? And the Soulja Boy song, what the hell was the name of Soulja Boy's song? Shit, I gotta look this shit up. There's a song called Conceited by Soulja Boy. Unfortunately, the narrative on that is not true. I saw it circulating. It went super viral on Twitter. The person that posted it up ended up deleting it because he got proven wrong, trying to besmirch Drake's name. And I'm here for the truth. When the bullet lands and it's real and the target is on his back or on his forehead and it lands, I'm okay with that. But when the information is incorrect and the target and the bullet lands, I'm going to say, hey, that shot shouldn't have went through. So with the Soulja Boy thing, that particular song, that was not right. I'm on One came out first. Soulja Boy's Conceited actually came out after that, right? Now, that's not to say that Drake never took nothing or interpolated nothing from Soulja Boy, because we know for sure Soulja went on the Breakfast Club and made it known that Drake did take some shit, you know what I'm saying? So we know that, but that was already established years ago. Somebody tried to make it seem like he just was making a living off of stealing Soulja Boy bars. And again, in the interest of sharing truth, that is not what happened. Okay? So just want to be all the way real about that. Now, related to all of this, Roddy Ricch did an interview with Big Boy, and we know he was speaking with Big Boy a few days ago on TMZ. But Roddy Ricch came out and said he was privy to the Like That record with Future and Metro Boomin before the world got it, which I find to be very interesting. I didn't know him and Kendrick were so close that he would let the homie hear it. But yeah, he said when that record got played in the studio, he understood what the mission was, and he said it was time to boot up and get ready to represent. Let's go ahead and pull the clip, man, because this shit wild to me. All pun intended. All motherfucking pun intended. We ain't had it like that because in the internet era, we haven't had the two biggest titans in hip hop going back and forth in a slugfest, going back and forth day after day after day, trying to figure out who's dropping when. That shit was immense. I didn't get no motherfucking sleep. Out here being a new father, having to get up at 1 in the fucking morning after I just made it a point to go to sleep at 11 because I know I'm gonna have to get up anyway shortly to feed my son. Next thing I know, I gotta get up and come talk to the motherfucking inside the industry people, go live because a nigga just dropped a song, and then the nigga just dropped another song, and I gotta come back. I'm doing a premiere of some whole other shit. Niggas is in my chat saying, bro, niggas done dropped another one. I'm like, fuck, I guess I gotta go live right after my fucking premiere end because I ain't gonna stomp on my own shit. We ain't had it like that, baby. All you Jay-Z and Nas truthers, I love both of them. That was an iconic battle. It was beautiful for the time period that it was in. But them niggas, based on the way that music was recorded, produced, mixed, mastered, and released, them niggas dissed each other with like 8 months of preparation time. We talking about niggas working on 8 hours. Nah, it's different. Which is why we still talking about it right now, because we in the social media age. Niggas could go in the studio. Niggas could create a studio in their hotel room. They tour bus, whatever the fuck they got to do. As long as I got a mic and a laptop, I'm on your ass, nigga. Fuck it. That's different. And what I can't say is that Drake didn't produce quality music. He may have said some bullshit in some of the lines. I'm still not standing behind you. The way you're doing splits, your pants might rip. That shit was egregious. That shit was embarrassing. That shit is whatever you could say negative about it. I'm co-signing. But for the most part, it was still iconic, man. I'm not taking nothing away from it. And if that nigga decides he wants to jump back out there again, I will have to acknowledge it for what it is. But I don't see no way that he changes public perception. I don't see the way he changes the trajectory of the feud. I don't see how he changes the narrative. It would take something extremely damning. It would literally take for Drake to drop real life, unquestionable footage of DV happening in Kendrick Lamar's home in order to change the narrative. And if he can't produce that, nothing's going to change. Just being honest. Because that was your claim. That was what you wanted to go with. There's enough character testimony out there to say, hey, even if you didn't have a kid, the other shit that Kendrick was talking about was true. None of your claims against him were true, or at least proven. It is what it is. Okay? Let me run through just to make sure, because I have this habit of closing out the mother effing show before I'm really done. So I just want to make sure that I've covered everything that was in my list, in my docket. We got Donald Glover coming out and talking about it, but I really don't want to talk about his perspective on the situation because I wanted to kind of slap his ass. So we're going to keep the... I don't really want to slap you, bro. Hometown love. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Much love and respect. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Be sure to like and share the video. If you got a homie that's into hip-hop content, that's into, these types of conversations, be sure to send them the video. Be sure to send them the channels. Talk to them about the Inside the Industry show with J Nolan. You know what I'm saying? We're on our way to hitting 13,000 subscribers. We're having rapid growth. And I'm very appreciative for everybody that tunes in, everybody that comments, even if you have negative comments, even if you're trying to go to war with me in the comments, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all too. I may not appreciate it in the moment when I sit back and assess the fact that you take time out your day to come over here and speak in my comment section and, run up the views on what it is that I'm talking about. There was a time not too long ago when that wasn't happening. So I do genuinely appreciate all of y'all. All right. Much love and respect. I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. First I'm out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.